Let's see if this works on the 12th attempt. If you have got a multitude of notifications that I'm live, please address all your concerns to our local councillors or the people that design the NBN in Australia, because I can assure you it sucks at the moment. Rightio. And we're still not live. It's still not broadcasting to the interwebs. Ah, man. This is bullshit in the highest order. I've got snacks, I've got stuff, and it's still not working. Live stream offline. Oh, we've got 2 people in the room. Holy shitballs. But why is it not showing up on my screen as being online? Long time no see. Yay! So if that's there and it's live there but not live in my dashboard, and I can't moderate from here. That's stupid. Holy shitballs. See, that comes up here but doesn't come up there. Show. Excellent. So this filtering software doesn't let me do that. That's stupid. That just means I'm going to have to pop out that chat. Can someone share this on Facebook, please? Because actually, no, I've got the URL here. Somewhere. This, I'm not kidding you. This is my 20th attempt to get this working, and it just hasn't worked. I've tried Streamlabs. Is it Streamlabs? Yeah, Streamlabs and OBS and through YouTube, and nothing has worked. Nothing has worked. Live on YouTube, and this is via Streamlabs. No, what's this one? StreamYard.com. Not greatest quality, by the way. Still in the NBN, yeah, Australian NBN. Colin, thank you very much for recommending this, whatever you call it, StreamYard Labs. No, StreamYard. Jesus, I've looked at so many. It's insane. And apparently, this is horrible internet and horrible live radio. Live again on YouTube. Sorry, I'm doing the whole sharing thing this time. Live again on the tubes, post radio. I don't think there's anything that is going to allow me to bring up the quality of this internet connection. I could get on a push bike and start pedaling that little sucker, and it would not help the internet. Yeah, fiber to the premises. Yeah, I used to have good internet, but it's like this downward scale. It's like a relationship. It just slowly peters off until it's nothing but cold showers and YouTube. Have you tried multiple people on it? Yes, I was mucking around with Jaron yesterday, and it worked freaking awesome. Streamlabs, can you join the conversation? How do I add people to it? Copy. Do I have to put that in the description, maybe? Join, edit the post. I'll do it on Facebook. I think you do that one. Give me ADSL back. It was much better than the current NBN. I paid less and got higher speeds. I paid for higher speeds, but I'm through. I can't even remember who I'm through. But it started off epic. Like everyone else was bitching about the internet speed, and mine was awesome. And then it just started off epic. Like why do I don't want to watch you? Where's the Jesus? I got more screens open than I know what to do with. Close that one. Close that one. For some reason, the YouTube studio isn't working, which is fantastic. There's me chat. There's me chat. Let's get rid of that one as well. This is poorly set up, I promise you. That should be becoming apparent by now. Top chat. What do I want? Why is it going in the bottom? Okay, it doesn't matter. Colin has sent you a link. Where did you send me a link, dude? Because I haven't got anything open, so it doesn't go ding, ding, ding 70 times. Is this better or worse than OBS? Not that OBS is going to help because that's not working either. I might be able to log out of this and go back into OBS. Settings. Test, Logitech camera, high definition, 720. Oh, that's as high as this will go apparently, so I can't change the settings. Yeah, I am already streaming at 720, dude. So it's never going to help me. Anyways, who's going to join me in the chat? Who's going to try and entertain the masses or advertise yourself? DIY Power Walls. Where did you send me messages? There is no messages. Not on Bookface. Hi all from the UK. Welcome. I should put some gloves on and start shucking. I had all this fancy setup, trying to do all cool shit, and then the internet didn't work, and I spent over an hour trying to get it to work. At the end of the day, I had to leave my modem off for like 15 minutes rather than just a matter of 5 minutes or something like I usually do. Does that noise peek out the camera? Peek out the microphone? In StreamYard, there is an invite plus at the bottom. Okay. Rightio, where is Second Life Storage? No, StreamYard. Invite. Oh, yeah, invite. Copied. So if I paste that there, we'll get 60 people try and join. And of course, I've got gloves on, so that's going to make it a little bit difficult. I might have to change this around a little bit. I got to get rid of some screens. I think that's the one I just put on Facebook as well. I think. I'm not sure. So, who's going to join me? I think I will see it in this screen as soon as it comes up. They dream this strip. Yeah, well, that'll be nice. Thank you very much. Hey, look what I did. I put up another mount on the wall. I decided that I'm going to have to put these cells somewhere where when I start building them, so I needed somewhere safe. So I figured I'm going to throw them up there. Oh, $2. Oh, there's the $2 I gave Jehu, and he didn't even acknowledge. Thank you, Wayne. Hey, did you get that notification on the screen? Oh, no, it doesn't work like that on this. When people join, they get put into a holding area as such. You need to approve them. Yep, It should be on this screen here. I was doing it with a few other people the other day, and it worked really well. Not on YouTube or Facebook, just privately. It worked really, really well. It's the wrong time of day to be doing a live feed. I understand that. There's so little people ever around. Oh no, we've got another one, guys. Should we even open it, or we just know that it's going to be Sanyo cells inside? We're going to have to open it now because you're going to have to believe me. See, look at that. Sanyo cells. Borderline useless. No, I don't specially choose the cells. They are just the only one. Well, they're not the only ones I have. But these are really easy to open, yes. She's a little glitchy. Wifey's asleep already. I think my 15-year-old's still on, and the 8-year-old's been banned from the internet until he turns 18. The little shit got caught stealing mum's chocolates. Holy shit balls, that was almost the end of his days. Stealing mum's chocolate is like a sacrilege. Now I'm trying to lay these out just in case anybody wants to. I'm trying to lay them out so I'm not just piling all the nickel strip on top of each other so they could potentially cause fire. I'm trying to avoid that. Just had a similar one with my boys literally an hour ago. I blame my wife because she left it laying around, but still, half a box of like Lindt chocolates, half a big box too. It wasn't a little one, but damn shit balls. I can't work out whether it's going to be hot or cold out here, so I'll put a jumper on. The plan is to do about 10 kilos of cells before I go inside tonight. So I'm going to be here for about an hour or two, I reckon. Let's see if my nose doesn't stop running. Give me a second. Nose is itchy. Can't do that shit on camera. Rightio. Who else is in the room? We've got 22 of you in the room. Where are you all from? Peter. Hi, Pete. Welcome, buddy. Where are you all from? What projects are you working on? And do you want to join this chat? Somebody give me a walk around of their shed or their, I don't know, their bathroom or something. You know, it'd be weird. I don't care. What do you think, ET, on shucking and testing before you start to build packs? I don't know. At the rate I'm going, I've probably got 2 weeks of cells and 2 weeks of testing left. And then straight after that, I've got all the cells in order of date. I plan that so I can start testing all the voltages and see if I've got any self-discharges. And then at that point, I'll probably start every day, maybe doing 100 cells a day, because I get up at 100 to 130 done a day. So if I maybe do 100 cells a day testing for self-discharge and then start sorting them into, I was thinking maybe 100 milliamp hours. Some people are doing it in 40 and 50 and 20 milliamp hours, but I'll do it in more. Oh, there we go. The column's on. There we go. The system works. Welcome, buddy. How do we... I know. Can't unmute guest.
Hello?
Oh, there we go. I was trying to unmute you from this end. How are you, man?
Hang on, it's went all quiet.
Tell us about yourself and your projects and shit, dude.
Me? Can you hear me okay?
Sorry?
Can you hear? I was just checking. You can hear me okay, but you can hear us at least.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. It's just when I crack something and then you talk, I can't hear just at that point in time.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Tell us about your projects.
Same as you guys, power walls, other bits and pieces. But I am actually going to be changing the BMS on my power wall this week, so I'm running the DIY BMS from Stuart Pittaway.
Yep.
But I'm running one of the first version, so it's more of a slightly enhanced battery monitoring system than a management system. I know you got to be careful with the terms because people jump on it, but he's done a new one. So I kind of participated a little bit in the old one with some Grafana stuff for the login and the pretty bits and pieces and stuff, and some of the voltage cutouts and things. So he's kind of taken all that and kind of rolled it into a new version 4, which is meant to be a bit more duty and high voltage cutoff and low voltage cutoff and stuff.
Oh, that sounds all right.
Yeah, it's getting on its way to be a battery management system. So I've had all the bits and pieces sitting here forever, the PCBs to make up. So that's my plan.
I can't do the DIY battery stuff because the battery management, because I just don't. I might be building a battery, but I'm taking everybody else's knowledge and putting it all together, and I trust the Batrium implicitly, but it, wine server, Mum's secret cookies. I hate people who message me when I'm trying to chat online. I think they do it deliberately. Anyway, who else is in the room? Who else wants to join us? We'll see how many people we can get into the chat. How many people? Is it 5 max?
I think it is 5. You maybe get more if you pay.
Okay. I looked at paying, but it's like 25 USD a month.
Yeah, it's like from zero, really good functionality, to like $25 for just a couple of things. But
yeah, I mean, it'd be good for if we could make this a more regular thing and get more people into the chat and advertise more YouTube channels, especially the smaller ones. We could have big safety chats and try and, do things, do stuff better. I mean, after the fire posts and stuff that have been out there lately, it's...
Yeah, there was one just up the past couple of days. Some guys out building. Yeah, went up and... Now, we use it, we do a thing called a maker cast with some friends that, not specifically Powerwall, just making in general. Yeah, we do that once a month on like the first Sunday of every month or something. So
that's the one you linked me last time, wasn't it?
Yeah. I sent that just so you could see it being multiple people, but it proves it can work. But to be honest, none of us have paid the $25 a month either. Yeah,
Chris, you've got to give us a device so I can add you. Oh, there we go. Wait a minute, we got a head. I've got to take.
Cool.
We got someone else.
Lonely, that's why I thought I'd join.
We got Chris Hill. Hey, Chris, welcome. Oh, wow, that's cool.
How's that working? Okay.
It works brilliantly. I love it. Look at the quality of that looks pretty good at my end. What about your end? Where are you? Oh,
show you
Power
show you Powerball.
Yeah, show us around, man. You've got the mic. Go for your life.
How do you flip this camera?
You probably just 90 degrees it.
There you go.
Ah, that's it.
Technology, isn't it, Graham? Oh, yeah. That's a pretty schmick looking power wall. Did you build that yourself?
No, it's a bought one.
Oh, it's a bought one. Talk us through it.
From the UK. The cover's coming off in a bit, so I'll show you the batteries and everything and show you what's happening.
Oh, that's pretty neat. So how long have you had that running for?
The batteries about 4 months.
Okay.
It runs on Renault. It has Renault Zoe batteries in it.
Oh, cool. So how much storage is in it?
8.2 kilowatts.
And that sort of serves you well. Obviously, you've got a couple of bills since you've had it in.
it works on a day-to-day basis, but it's fine for what I've got.
Yeah. What's your average usage in a day? Oh, he's got Australian internet. Look at that.
That's the joy of Wi-Fi, I think, doing it on the phone.
Chris is gone. Chris is out of here for now. Anybody else want to join us in the meantime?
Oh,
he's back. He's walking around.
Don't take him to the toilet. Oh, I thought it was going to the toilet there.
I thought you were for a second. Then I'm thinking, geez, this is going to get interesting.
X-rated on YouTube.
I'm a swinger club lover. Okay. Why the heck don't I have any moderators in this room?
No, you
any obvious.
I'm at the PC if you want to stick as a mod. I don't mind helping if you want.
Yeah, I'll throw you on. I'll put Wayne on as well. Put user in timeout. No, that was the wrong one. Colin, where's your name? There we go. Colin. Add moderator. There you go. Righty, let's have a look at the chat. We got Netherlands. We've got some other language. I didn't ask you on Facebook and got a reply. The Swingers Club is gone. Holy shit. All that interaction. Hi, Pete. I did ask you on Facebook, but not got no replies yet, so I'll ask you again here. If I'm pulling 300 watts at 220 volts from an inverter, how many amps will I be pulling from 20? I have no idea, dude. I don't do maths. I'm pretty sure there's a internet calculator out there. And I'm not even joking when I say I don't maths. I suck so bad at it that it's just terrifying.
It should just be 3,000 divided by 24.
Yeah, that's maths.
Yeah. I say that easy if I can do that at the top of my head, but I've got a computer with a calculator on it. So.
Remember the teachers saying you will never have a calculator in our hands all the time? Yeah, they were wrong.
Yeah, Wayne's already put it in there. It's about 125 amps. That's a lot.
Oh, geez, I should have just walked. I just should have just read that a bit. Thanks, Wayne. Oh, not another one. Right, we're gonna have competition. What color are these Sanyos? Of course, you won't answer me by the time I open them up. They're purple. You've been doing this for a long time when you know that it's got purple Sanyo or any Sanyos in it. In the reject bin. Quality content 130 amps. My computer says no. Orange. Damn, you are wrong. Absolutely. Come on, there's not. Well, there's only actually 19 people in the room. That's slack for this time of day. Who else is in? Who else is new? Who else wants to join Colin and I? Who else wants to come here and actually help me shuck them rather than watch me? There's got to be something value in that. I can pay you in purple Sanyos.
Happily would, but it's about a $2,000 flight, I think, in 24 hours.
Oh, Chris is back. I think Chris is back. He's on his computer. Wait a minute, Chris. I'll add you again. Where's my mouse with the gloves on? Oh, look at that. We got landscape. So what are we looking at here? This is your Powerwall?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Just waiting for the live data to start coming through now.
How do I make you bigger?
I don't know. Where's it, the refresh button on this? Oh, I know why. Because I've actually just took the cover off the power vault. I've not put the internet line back into it. Can you see this?
Oh, wow. It's got the inverter inside of it. So that's a commercial product, is it, with a PIP inverter?
That's the inverter, yeah, the green box. There's 4 batteries down there. I'll just plug these internet lines back in.
So is that one of the PIP inverters, the hybrid ones?
Yeah, it's a hybrid inverter. Yeah. So a grid side.
So is that inverter approved over there? Because it's certainly not approved in Australia.
Yeah, this is approved in the UK. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. And how much does something like that set you back, like compared to our sort of power? So I got like 40 kilowatt hours.
For a 4.1, you're looking at about £4,500. I was an early adopter on this, so I got a little bit more capacity than what most have got for the same money. Can you see that now?
Yep. Oh, I can't unfortunately make you any bigger than that, unfortunately.
So you should be able to make podcast in full screen there, Pete.
Yeah, but it's I can only do me full screen. I can't do anybody else full screen.
Oh, there is a way. I've not seen it from. I can't see our screen obviously from the other side, but.
Chris Hill. I wonder if I can't even
do
move.
My best.
Yeah, I'll stop moving it around. There we go.
So it's very similar to the Powerwall 2 in the setup, really.
Yeah.
The live data.
Okay.
And you've got your power used on the top graph. And you've got your power generated on the bottom graph.
Okay.
The red line on the top graph is your grid power used. The purple is the grid charging. The blue is the battery used, and the yellow is the solar used. And then on the bottom graph, you've got the yellow is the consumed solar used. The stored solar is the blue, and then the exported is the red.
Okay, I can hardly make out that information from this end.
Very difficult, to be honest, to get anything.
That's still pretty cool, though. I mean, it's interesting. So, Wayne's just added all the what is it? £4,000 is about 7,200 Australian dollars. So to put that in context, mine cost me about $12,000, including all my mistakes and the shit that I blew up. And things like that, because back in the day I didn't do stuff right. I had no idea what I was doing, so paid 3 different electricians before one actually could show me what like how to set it all up and install it. My first one took 6 or 7 months to even find an electrician that would touch it and approve it. So. You're all upside down.
Brother.
For a commercial product, I thought all those wires would have been
all the batteries have got their own BMS built in.
Oh, okay. So can you see each voltage of each cell, or does the BMS not have that function?
Just give me a second, because you're breaking up. I can't quite hear you. I'll have to go online, I think. I'll have to go off this chat thing. Or this video in.
Yeah, okay. Oh, he's out. Anybody else want to call in? See if you've got something cool and neat to show us, and something that the community can sort of, I guess, learn from. I guess it'd be good. Any project, really. Come on, let's get where's all the chatters? We've got 19 people in the room. Let's get after it.
Everyone's shy.
Oh, look, it's being the first time I've done this and tried to share, it makes it a little bit hard to sort of just expect people to drop everything and sort of try and connect up. So.
Oh yeah, I just thought that's why you're doing it, but it's interesting seeing the capacity there of his, like the 8 kilowatts. I know you guys, there's a lot of them are like far higher capacities, but mine's only about 5 kilowatt, but it still can make a decent dent. For me, the limiting factor is that how much solar I've got. Like it's a pittance. But if you have enough solar to cover your usage during the day and surplus to charge the batteries, and then you start eating the batteries in the evening, I guess is the perfect model.
Yeah.
I use about 10 kilowatt hours a day.
Well, that's pretty much what I do. I mean, I've got enough solar to run all day and charge the batteries off from the last 14 hours of no sunlight. So, and then obviously enough storage to last 2 or 3 days when the sun does go away. But we're in Australia, so that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I think it's that last part, the last for 2 or 3 days. That's the kicker. If you can do it, it's fantastic. But for a commercial system, that's expensive, I guess.
We've got to stop. Like, we've got to think about usage to make it last that long. Otherwise, the 40 kilowatts can go flat in a day.
Yeah,
just is. But we use the dryer. Like 10 o'clock at night, the wife decides that all the clothes needs washing and drying, and of course that heats the water and the heater. That can use 10, 12 kilowatt hours just doing that.
Yeah.
So it chews it up, and if we've got air conditioners running all night or heaters running all night. But I guess that's why you've got storage, so you can use it. I worry about the smaller power walls like yours. The cycles that you would put on your small power wall would have to shorten its lifespan, because you'd flat to fall it every day, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, easy. Yeah. No, the amount of cycles is incredible on it, I must admit, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess one of the things, the bigger you can go, the better. But, that's sometimes not always practical.
It's not practical, but also it's kind of the cost and just availability of cells.
Yeah. So what else we got in the chat? Chris Hill, I just thought I'd share my system. Thank you very much for doing that, sir. The power wall was out of my price range. The power walls, I think you pay for the name a bit like Apple.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think you also get a product that lasts very well as well. I don't think... I've never heard, I guess there probably is some out there, but I haven't really heard of a Tesla Powerwall failing or burning down or catching fire or anything like that yet.
No. Weirdly, the solar panels from Solar City have had problems.
Yeah. But solar panels have problems everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them in Australia comes not from the panels themselves, but the connections and the MC4 cables and stuff at the back of the panels.
Yeah.
More than the panel itself.
No, it's true. And like you say, they jump on the name, though. If there's problems with Tesla panels, they'll jump on that. It's a better news story than, some other generic supplier.
Yeah, that'd be a good news story, wouldn't it? The media would go nuts. Chris Hill, it's 8.2 kilowatt hours of storage. Hi, Pete, Hickey, and everyone. Cheetah Kid, welcome, buddy. Mine's still a work in progress. 10 hours so far in fair use. Ready to show. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to show them off because it's just a DIY nightmare, I guess you'd say. Just messy, but it works obviously. So I mean, if I wasn't on YouTube, mine wouldn't be so neat and tidy. I reckon mine would be a grand mess. But it's good because I'm held to a higher standard, and I think I'm better off for it. The extra effort. I'm still Cheetah Kid. I'm still doing a Powerwall. So far, I've done 19.6 kilowatt of lithium ion. Is that kilowatt hours of storage? That damn W, or damn H in this case. My monitor's like about 1.5 meters away from my face, and my poor eyes are straining to read it. What's with my point of weather now? It's poor weather. Yeah, we've got lots of fires and stuff in Brisbane at the moment and all around. It's been pretty smoky, but nothing like some of those bloody hurricanes and stuff that are around the place. Man, I'm glad we don't have storms like that here. We don't have any snow. It gets hot, but that's about it. What about where you are, Colin? Much snow or anything?
Yeah, we get a little bit of snow, but it's generally like get a little bit in November, sometimes a little bit in Feb, but other than that, But that's one problem. My power wall. I built the kids a playhouse and put the solar panels on the playhouse. So it's not much, but for about 2 months in the winter, they're completely shaded. I get nothing. So that's why I need some on the roof. But I think mentioned the last stream, it's like a tiled roof, and like two-story houses here as well. So
yeah, I've watched your power wall since it was like just one little panel on the roof.
Yeah, it's grown a little bit. That's my killer thing. Because during the day, I use resting about 350 watts. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So it can cover that fine, but it's and then enough to charge up and that. So need more panels, as everyone does.
Everybody, yeah, it's the eternal problem. They're pretty cheap around here too, which we are lucky. I can get a 190 watt panel for $20. Hell, there's people that give them away.
Yeah, I've seen a few posts on the Facebook forum. In the UK, it's not as widespread. So the second-hand market, the prices are still pretty high. Like I sold some, admittedly new because I never got to install them, but 300 watt panels for £100 each.
That's all right.
£110 each actually. I don't know what that works out in Aussie bucks. Let's have a look.
R3 is so much fun. That's my point. The weather is so poor here. I charge on cheap rates. Matt Troy, well, this is enough sun. Surprisingly good solar coming through. All this smoke and haze about. Yeah, I guess it breaks up the, what do you call it, the protons or something that comes through the sky, through the clouds and shit. It's not the sunlight that creates energy.
Yeah, Wayne's just guessed it. For the 300 watt panels that I sold, they were 200 Aussie bucks.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
that's actually money. I think I've like secondhand panels, 250 watt panels, 280 watt panels in Brisbane. I think they go for like 40 or 50 bucks each, secondhand. A lot of insurance company installs and stuff where they don't need to replace the whole system. They just do. They'll just installers want more money, so they just rip the whole lot out, start again.
Yeah.
Or it's got to meet some new compliance.
Yeah, we've got a couple of companies. There's one, Bimble Solar is a popular one. I've no affiliation with them at all. Just I've seen them online. That they get a lot of stuff from the solar setups, so they get like thousands of panels at a time, and then they just shift them on.
I have a 4 kilowatt power solar array with 3 kilowatt inverter. When it's a nice day, I still get a lot of power. It fills up quickly. Yeah, 8.5 wouldn't take long to fill up. That's one good thing about a smaller one, I guess. Something about my sister still in Brisbane. You mentioned fire. Yeah, there's fires all around, all through the mountains. There's fires everywhere. It's not just around Brisbane. It's Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, all over the place. It's just so dry that it's just everything's just burning up. Surrounding areas, mostly bushland areas. If she's in the CBD, probably not an issue. Nah. Hopefully there's not an issue here, but you don't know what these fires can do. Some of them just get nasty. I'm in northwest of the UK. Oh, there we go. Warner's family is safe at the moment. There's a guy in Northgate with a ton of 250 watt panels. One's second hand. Oh, there you go. 22's in the room. Where are you from? What projects are you working on? Let us know what is happening in your area. Sounds like a commercial. Got to keep the chat happening somehow.
Should do this once a month, but like pre-planned.
Pre-planned. I don't do pre-planned.
That's why it's once a month or once a quarter maybe.
I do live feeds because I enjoy interacting with the community, not because I make $7,000 out of it.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
It's fun being one of the guys, I guess you'd say. So, here's her story. Pete, what do you do with all those batteries? I run my home with them. Well, not currently, but at some point I will run my home with them. Well, I don't know what, actually, no, to be honest, I don't know what I'm going to do with these batteries because I don't have a plan. I was going to give them to my dad, but my dad, he's a grey nomad and he just travels around a lot. So he's been on camera a few times here, I think. But I'll tell you a story about my dad. I had my dad quit work, run away, got a caravan, and did the whole grey nomad thing. I didn't see him for about 3 years or something when he was traveling around. And when I got back, he was actually grey. And I just don't mean a little bit grey. I mean, he was grey. And I said to him, geez, Dad, you took that grey nomad thing a little bit seriously. And at that point, I found out that he'd been dyeing his hair for years, and I didn't know it. So that is a stupid story told because you guys aren't talking, so I blame you guys.
Are you not got these cells planned where you're going to do something for your daughter's house and your son-in-law?
Well, yeah, I was, but it's like, then I started thinking to, like, after this fire and stuff, it's like, well, do I want to put my daughter in this position and having these cells at her house in a brand new house that they've spent the last 5 years saving for? And it's like,
I thought you were going to create a little outside shed or bunker for them or something.
yeah, but you still got that little thing in the back of your mind, don't you?
You got a little bomb at the bottom of the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my dad's got a nice house in the middle of nowhere that is easily put off grid, and he loves that idea. He's an old hippie at heart, but they travel around so much. I don't want to leave lithium cells unattended.
Yeah.
So I guess I can just build some really big packs and put them into service here, and maybe take out like one of my oldest cells. There'd probably only be 8 kilowatt hours of storage left in that, and replace it with this. It should have 25 kilowatt hours of storage. So that'll give me, I don't know, I'm doing maths in my head, but another 8 kilowatt hours extra on top. So maybe almost 50 kilowatt hours.
Yeah, but it's like what you said earlier as well. It's, you know, I know yours doesn't get cycled as much, but over time, they're only going to go down to grade. So if you've got spare ones in the background to start swapping packs out, it's handy to have.
Yeah, I've got a few of them. That's basically what that is. Is just that one's got to be raw spares.
Right.
That's just pull it out, put it in, done. So even this one, I was using this one, but this one is okay. It's not in use at the moment, but it's doing lots of testing with Patreon gear. Basically trying to learn as much as I can, I guess, because I want to try and I don't understand the coding and I don't understand the back end. I know it looks good and it functions and it works, but I don't know how it works. So that's what I'm trying to get my head around at the moment. So maybe with the light of getting a job or something in that sort of industry eventually. So, because I am overdoing computers. Computers and PlayStations, I've had enough of seeing. What have we got in the chat area? 6.2. I'm a new Scummy in Oz. Welcome back, brother. You're a regular around here. South Oz, $80 for a 250 watt panel. Average prices. Some people think they're worth gold, and that's the problem. There are some people that think they're worth gold because they, 15 years ago, they spent 20 grand on their 1.5 kilowatt hour system on their roof when they first come out, and they're not really that gold coloured anymore. They still think they are. That's all right. They're the ones that just sit there and never sell.
People think the used laptop packs are like gold now as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, they've come a long way with what they used to be.
Oh god, yeah. I remember I bought a whole box of batteries, and I think it was about £10 or something like that. It was for like 80.
I used to get called in the early days. I used to get called and say, "I've got 2 wheelie bins here full of cells," and that's probably easily over 500 kilos of cells, and come and get them. They're in our way.
Yeah.
But now I've got to practically beg for them. So incredibly grateful for this batch, I promise you.
Nah, to say in the UK, it's like about $4-5 per pack now. Some people are trying to command, if not more. They're crazy amounts of money.
Well, see, these here, I reckon I could go on eBay and sell that for $6. Because people will pay $1 per cell knowing that they're good cells.
Oh, yeah, easy. Over £1 in the UK, so it's kind of knocking off a damn $2. $2.
So, what else we got? Almost 3:30 a.m. Holy shitballs! What are you still awake at that early in the morning for? Phoenix, Arizona, Western USA. Peter, hi all. Pete, do those batteries. Done with that one. As long as you do the watch on 5 vid before passing on those cells on. Watchmon 5. I think I finished the Watchmon 5 video today. I've got to edit it though because I was going to do the Watchmon 7 at the end of that video, but I think I'll just do the Watchmon 7 as a separate video, which means I just have to edit the end of the video and take out. And next we've got the Watchmon 7. That just Pete being a dick. But has anybody seen the Watchmon 7? That's the Watchmon 5. The Watchmon 5 is on the wall. That's the Watchmon 7 out of its container. So that is the very first public version of it. So, and it's exactly the same as the Watchmon 7, Watchmon 5, except this one does 6S to 10S. So it's basically a Tesla module or anything else with up to 10S, all in one. No cell monitors. It's all centralized on one unit. I haven't turned it on yet. Don't tell Jaron. But I pulled that apart today to try and make all the looms up, and that's the Watchmon 7 loom, but I couldn't buy a new plug. So I've got to pull apart the old one to do the new video, which is going to suck because I don't have any more pins, so I've got to make it work somehow. And I don't know how that somehow is going to be. Rightio, enough of that. Hi from Cooper PD. Welcome, Richard. If there's anybody else that wants to join the chat or show us their setup, copy to clipboard, geez, that works really well. You can visit this link and then you can show us your rig, so to speak, and join the chat. We can put you next to Colin. He's a nice guy. See, I would never have seen this if you didn't link it to me, eh? So
I only saw it because it was a friend found it because they were forced to look at something different because Google Hangouts integration with YouTube stopped.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just not an option anymore. So that's where other people are kind of popping up now. I just wish, like we were talking about earlier on, if they made it like, I don't know, $10 per use or $5 for an individual use or something. So I know it wouldn't be worthwhile for like just an idle chat like this, but if you had a planned thing, you wouldn't mind paying $5 to use it or something. But $25 is a bit much.
Yeah, I guess if they had a more staggered approach to it, even if it was $5 a month to remove the branding, I reckon they'd make a lot more money than not doing that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So
maybe a lovely duck up there.
Yeah, I mean, I know you can put custom stuff up there once you learn how to use it and stuff. So
yeah, you can, like in the comments as well. If someone does a comment, you can on the right hand side, you can click on that comment and you can have that appear down the bottom and like a lower third on the screen and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
Geez, that's fancy.
Yeah, it's nice. You can
look at that guy. Far out. No.
Yeah, big thing for us was sharing the screen as well. Because if I wanted to, I could share my screen and then you can put that on as well easily. It's just much easier than other stuff.
Yeah, the screen sharing is awesome, isn't it? I was playing with that before.
Mike says, should he know who Chicky is? He probably shouldn't know.
Sorry?
Mike L says, should I know who Chicky is?
Who's Chicky? Where's Chicky? Mike L. Who's Chicky? Is that on your behalf?
I think it's me because obviously Chicky is Colin Hickey.
Oh, okay.
Always confuses people when they see Chicky. It's his first initial last name. It's nothing more sinister or girly than anything like that.
Just can you? Oh, you're an admin, so you can actually put your YouTube channel in. Put your link in the comment section.
I'm not saying no.
Can we get rid of me? How do we get rid of me? There we go. I was looking around before, and you can do all the Second Life storage, and you can.
Yeah.
It's very smart. Got to remember to remove it. There we go. Comments. I didn't realize that you could actually click on a name and show the actual comment. That's brilliant. Should I do? Look, I can. That's interesting. That link didn't come up in my control panel. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that just took a bit of time. That works. So Colin has a. Why don't you tell them about yourself? What are you doing and stuff? Because I know what you're doing, and there's a couple other people that know what you're doing, Colin. But
yeah, well, primarily I work in IT, but hobby-wise, it started off doing the Powerwall stuff, watching yourself, Pete and Jay Who, same as many others did in the early days, and slowly been building that up. And I used Paul Kennett's design, and I've stuck with that, although I've outgrown it now, so I need to change. And Paul Kennett's was a 3D printed, the little 24p packs. So did 24p 7S to get 24 volts set up, and that worked pretty well. And then as I've got more cells, I've been able to just add more packs in parallel to those. But I've beefed up the connections, but I've pushed it to the limits. I've got 7S 96p, which is not huge by standards, but just the way the packs are designed, I can't go any higher. So I'm thinking that just over the winter, just pulling that all apart, retesting everything, and that'll be interesting when you're talking about the cycles.
Yeah.
See what the capacity is of some of those cells. The majority are over 2,000. I couldn't be quite as picky as what some of you guys could. So I've built that up, and then did a little bit of work on a BMS that Stuart Pittaway put up, which was the DIY BMS. Yeah. And that worked pretty well. And then, like you say, he's done a new version and printed a 3D printed wind turbine for the garden for my little kids. So I need to do a bit more work on that, get that working.
Wait a minute, you 3D printed a wind turbine?
Yeah, it's. I can get it. It's in the background. 2 seconds.
Whilst he's gone, or he's not going far, what you said about testing the old cells, I really like that idea, and I'm going to do that to this cell here, which is 55. I said this earlier today in my live feed on YouTube, on Facebook, and I don't know whether it's not self-discharging because it's not constantly losing charge. It's not charging up as much as the other cells. So, I like what you said about pulling the pack down and retesting it and having a look at the degradation, because that's definitely what I want to do on that pack. So, back to you, Colin. What do you got there? The 3D printed
wind turbine sans. Where we are, sans blades. So I had a bit of an accident with it. It fell over, basically. Really high winds took it and lifted it up. But yeah, so, this is another. It's one of Thingiverse, like an open source design. Yeah. In all honesty, the amount of actual power you're going to get from it, it's like 50 watts in gale force winds on a good day with the wind in the right direction type of deal. But yeah, it was just something cool. My kids love wind turbines. They're a bit strange. So what motor
do you use in it?
What? Sorry.
So what motor do you use in it?
It's got a stepper motor, and that outputs like 24 volts AC, and then it's just got a little full bridge rectifier in there, which just converts that to DC.
Okay.
But one of the issues I had, I wasn't really getting much output at all. So that's why I had started to do some testing, and yeah. So I need to put some new blades on it, do some tweaking, see if I can actually get some half decent power. To be honest, even just a trickle, a few hundred, what's a day type of thing, just to put something into the power wall to cover the power usage from the BMS or something would be something.
Yeah. Just to help top off the base load.
Yeah. So it would be nice, but but realistically, it's a very small amount. It's more just a toy. He did do a previous one, which was like 5 watts, and then he's done a new one. It's 50. But I'm in a residential area. I'm kind of, I couldn't go any bigger. At the moment, it's big classed as a toy for the kids. But if you go bigger, and you need it like 15 meters high, 20 meters high on a pole.
Yeah, to get up in the clean air.
To get that constant wind going through.
Yeah. What else have we got on chat-wise? Scummy and Oz got 250 watt on the container running a 12 volt car battery Victron charger. Slowly getting 8650 packs together. I don't know how long yet, but another 4 by 250 watt panels in the container. I want a container. We've talked about that a million times. Name is Chill. Welcome, Chris Hill. I see what you did there. Good morning or late evening to you, Pete. Christopher, it is 8:40 in the evening in Brisbane, Australia at the moment. What time is it over there, Colin?
It is 20 to 12.
There you go. I am not making anywhere near as much progress as I usually would. I want a 48 volt system. I not got an inverter yet. Scummy and Oz, what sort of inverter do you think you're going to get when you do? You're going to go down the PIP route like a lot of other people? They are budget friendly. What kind of loads do you power from your power wall, Colin? Asked.
Yeah, I've only got a 1,000 watt inverter, but the number 5 is the new 13, I think, because I've got a dodgy pack 5 as well. So that's one that it did this exact same as what your pack 5 did, I think, at the start of the year, where it got particularly low. So I've been through that and replaced some cells, but it's still not a super happy camper, and that's one of the reasons I think they tear it apart. So at the moment, I just limit it to about 500 watts. It just peaks out of that, which is not much, but if it's 500 watts constant during the day, it covers enough for my standard usage, about 350 watts.
Yeah.
So it makes a little dent. It helps. It's never going to pay for itself, but it's a hobby.
That's the benefit about mine. It has paid for itself. If you include the YouTube side of things, it's paid for itself 10 times over.
Oh, yeah.
It actually, like with the YouTube income and everything else, it covered that $12,000 in 18 months.
That's fantastic.
A lot of hard work, though. I mean, there's a lot more hard work than I care to admit to that's gone into it. Time, energy, effort, breakages.
Oh, yeah.
Editing videos is not not a quick process for me.
No, I'm slowly getting better. I just made the change to DaVinci Resolve instead of Adobe, which it's cheaper at least. But no, I'm slowly getting better, but it's still time consuming. And then checking your own videos, and I get sick of watching myself and watch myself say the same thing repeatedly.
I could associate that. I mean, I've been trying to do voiceovers because I talk very, very off the cuff when I'm on camera. So I've been trying to do voiceovers, and as soon as I started doing voiceovers, everyone sounded like it was scripted.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say is yes, it is, because I'm trying to think about what I'm saying and try to be a little bit more precise in the information that I'm giving.
Well, you've got to be careful the information you're giving, but then the internet's a lovely fickle thing, which if you say one thing wrong, someone will pull you up on it straight away. And so you got to have, when it's dry stuff like the tech specs of Watchmons and other bits and pieces, you got to make sure you get it right. So that's why I can't blame you with the script.
Yeah, it's and I don't want to teach anybody. I've never wanted to teach anybody anything. I just wanted to document my process. and be a part of something that's just bigger than Pete in his shed. So, and I think we've pretty much achieved that.
Ah, that's cool. But my big thing that takes me time to edit is I say and a lot.
Oh, I absolutely fell in love with Average Joe as soon as he started doing the outros with all his ums and ahs.
Yeah.
Instantly you can associate with it.
Because my timeline, I'll drag down, I'll have like maybe 4 segments, 4 clips.
Yeah.
And it would just be 4 clips if I'd managed to say everything coherently. But then you look at the timeline at the end and it's like someone's took a knife to it and slashed away at it. Because you've got all the little jump cuts and it's all me trying to cut it. And the stupid reason I started doing that is, 1, it makes a better video. But 2, again, the joys of the internet, people started downvoting and then putting on comments saying, yeah, and you should ignore the comments, but, you know.
Don't worry about downvotes. Like,
yeah. It's interaction, I guess.
It is, but I was lucky when I was first getting into this, and I will hold my head up high and say this: Jay, who helped me more than any other person getting into YouTube. He gave me a chin up. He gave me a leg up. He gave me lectures. He gave me advice. That advice ended up coming around and biting him on the ass because I wanted to make money. But he did. I want to be able to do the same thing that he did for me. I really do. Hence this sort of layout and this sort of setup, trying to promote other tubers or other it's not just about me. So thanks, Jay, who's watching this.
You got over 50,000 now. It's not a small task.
Yeah, but 50,000, that's like the wife promising you something next Thursday night. It means nothing.
Yeah.
No, dude, it means...
No, I agree, but I'm just saying, I know it takes time, though. Yeah. Unless you get something that happens to go viral, then, people get that, overnight, but...
Well, I've had a couple of really good videos that not so much viral, but I have had times where I've made $100 a day on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think $120 is the most I've ever made in a day. But the average is like $10 a day.
Yeah.
You can't run your family and your life off that.
Oh God, no.
So, and that's with 50,000 subscribers, $10.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not even monetized on mine, so I make nothing. So you cannot get any sympathy off me.
But that said, if you have a look at my views versus like who's subscribed and who's not subscribed watching your videos, and it's like I think it's like 74% is non-subscribers watching my videos.
Yeah, I've got about the same.
But YouTube is useless if they don't want to tell everybody that hits that subscribe button by default that I've done a video. It's useless.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I mean, I got Jehu's notification for his live feed an hour after or half an hour after he started it. What's the use of that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think once somebody comes along with a platform that can compete with YouTube, I think YouTube's going to have a problem. I don't think that is anytime soon because YouTube have a running head start.
Yeah.
And 1 million hard drives.
Yeah, there's other companies trying to do it, but at likes of what you got, D Live. Yeah. And there's other platforms, but they still at the moment can't hold a candle to YouTube, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just sheer numbers.
Yeah. I feel like we're going off on a little tangent and having a side chat. Who else is there? He's not a happy pack for sure. I love the new format. Have a guest on. What do you have to do to get on it? Nothing other than there's a link below that Wayne put on. Just join, and then we'll see you join up down here, and then we'll just add you to the chat, and you can walk us through your setup or your plans or whatever else. It doesn't really matter for the first couple. We just, roll with it and see how it goes. See if people like it or hate it. I guess they'll use that buttony thing. The thumbs thing, sorry. 40-foot high cube. Oh, walking space. 11:40 a.m. Don't know yet. Join the chat following this link. Thank you very much, Wayne. Only running 41-meter LED light strip and car radio in my box. At least you got entertainment and light. I got an off-grid grow watt model, very good one, instead SPF 5000, and I'm doing a change my battery pack from lead acid to lithium. That is always a good thing. What are you doing with your old lead battery, though? Are you going to hand it down to somebody else so it doesn't get recycled straight away? I'm from Los Angeles. Welcome, Patrick's Workshop. My channel is about 65% non-subscribers watching my videos. Oh, 85%, sorry. Yeah, it seems to be about that. I had somebody else message me last night, and he had 95% non-subscribers watching his video and 5,000 or 10,000 subscribers or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I mean, what would we do without YouTube? That's another question to consider. Where would we go? I guess someone else would have stepped up to the plate by now. There is going to be nickel everywhere. Rightio. Should I keep going? There's about 10 kilos there. I should probably keep going, shouldn't I? Right, if somebody else wants to come on and have a chat with us, please feel free. And if you're new to the channel, smash that like button and let us know where you live. 41, 4 by 1 meter. Evening, good morning, sir. Good point. We just dudes in our shop making stuff and no one knowing about it. Show us your shop, Patrick's Workshop. Whilst I get some more. Colin, you can't see the control panel or anything, Colin, can you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know what, it's scary seeing you go through those cells because you go through them regularly, but this is some I've just been through, but this took me months and months to source this lot. I'm not as resourceful as you, I think.
That's the thing. I don't have to be resourceful anymore. People ring me up and say I've got cells.
Oh, well, yeah.
That is a kind of a cool thing about having 50,000 subscribers. Yeah. That is a benefit. I got me Pepsi and I got me snacks. Fredo Frog, I stole them off my kids for stealing chocolates off their mum. They'll find out in the morning when it's just from their lunchbox. I think that's fair, isn't it?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Well, I think I'm getting through this faster than I thought I would. What's that? I did, what was that, 20 before? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 14, 16, 18, 19. There's 20 more. There you go. That is a technological, what do you call them? Egg timer, if I've ever seen one. Oh, welcome from LA. Patrick's from LA. Whoa, we did that. Don't do that, Pete. Put your gloves on. Luke also sitting here pulling apart some old laptop and drill batteries. Thanks for the inspiration. Thanks for tuning in, Luke. I'm in bed watching. I do woodworking and stuff. No more information from you, Patrick. It's going to be in Oz. Stuck in South Oz. Need to be in a van in Van Diemen's Land. Was that Tassie? Cheetah Kid, I have been strip and testing lithium ion at a rate of just over 500 cells a month. Already gone 10 months. Oh, man, my first packs, I did the first, I think 6 months. I did it for a long time with a IMAX the B6 IMAX.
Yeah.
And I spent months doing the first 100 cells. And it's kind of odd now that with Rowan's discharger, I can do like up to 130 odd a day, I guess. I'd be doing more if I went down in there and addressed all those beeping sounds, but gotta love Coke.
The IMAX is a rite of passage. Everyone has one at the start.
Oh, they're great. And mine lasted until I sorted it out to. I was running it from my battery, and I was fixing a computer, and I knocked it, and then it touched the source battery. The output touched the input somehow, and blew it up. So I've done that too many times, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it was interesting seeing some of your early videos and then a lot of other people's as well doing the power walls, and you see the progression. A lot of people make the same mistake with the IMAX B6. Not mistake, but you start with that, and then the charge controllers as well. These little generic no-name ones from eBay. You start with that, and then you work your way up slowly. It's like a rite of passage, like I said.
Absolutely. I keep looking at you because you're on this screen here, but I need to look at the camera and.
Yeah, I've got the same thing. Cameras then.
Okay, what color? We need a color. What color are they?
Orange again.
I'm not sure. Oh, not another one. I know. I think this one is orange. Orange for the win. We got a couple. We got Luke's right. I think Luke got it first. Well done. There you go, mate. There's your prize. That's too many of them now. I think I'm going to be short of 2,400 cells that I need. I do have a box. And I got to do that. I got a box there of random cells, so I might be able to dig through that and find some more NCR 8650 greys. I know there's some greens down there. I think they're actually NCR 8650s as well. These ones are nut cells. This one's like 2,900 milliamp hours. Oh, these are NCR 8650As. Focus you. Anyway, you get the idea. I really don't have to do it any longer than that. Righty, what do we got? What do we got?
It's interesting. Cheetah Kid says he's doing 500 cells a month there, give or take, but he's paying £2. Like I was saying, and he's not doing anything wrong. He's just paying £2 per laptop battery, which is like $4 Aussie.
Holy shit!
That's what we've got to pay over here. It's expensive, man. That's an expensive power wall. Still cheaper than the commercial, but expensive.
Isn't in the UK? Don't you have some law about recycling? Like,
yeah, we have a thing called WECO. So
Yeah.
officially, you're meant to give it to WECO and like certified places, and they'll take it and recycle it. So that's why a lot of these places, if you go, they like businesses and whatnot, and schools, and like you've mentioned, private schools and the like, they'll generally want a certificate and know that you're effectively disposing them. Because generally, you used to charge these places for taking the kit away.
Yeah.
And then they would have a certificate. So if anyone came looking, they can say, "Oh, look, we, disposed of it environmentally friendly and yada yada."
I mean, the only thing that's not environmentally friendly about the way I do it is the nickel and the plastic, which is kind of half of it, isn't it? Because nobody wants it.
No.
So it literally just goes to. There's a tip up the road from my house called Willawong Tip, and it's got a recycling centre there. So I take it all up there and sort of roughly sort it out, and that's I don't class that as proper recycling because, to be honest, it probably still goes to landfill. But at least I try.
No, definitely. Yeah, it's the same in the UK. You only do what you can do. It's interesting actually going to the local tip. They've got these big ass square containers that are just for batteries to put in.
Yeah.
And every time I go, you can just see it's like full to the brim with laptop batteries, drill batteries, and all these things. And it's it's like the kid seeing the candy. You just
You can't touch it.
yeah. I've asked the guys, but as soon as it goes there, you're not allowed to touch. They kind of own it as someone's put it in the box.
Yeah, it goes in there and that's it. It doesn't come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Australia's a bit like that, but you can get in before the recyclers. As long as you get in before the recyclers, you're golden. So, yes, they're 17650s, Luke. I didn't even bother if the battery looks like it's going to be oranges. 29, right? My bad. I just got 100 kilos. Holy shit. 3 bulks a kilo. $3 a kilo last week. Holy heck, that's expensive. I guess it's only expensive. Oh, and I've broken one. Rip the... How did I do that? That one can get rewrapped. That's one I had this morning. It come out of the pack, a couple of hours ago actually. Come out of the pack, dented in the bottom. I can only say that that was like that from the manufacturer, but these are from a private school. So maybe the kids threw the laptops around, I'm not sure. I wouldn't think that it'd ever happen. What else we got? Question for you guys. Do you have an issue with Sanyo lithium cells, the red ones? Most of the cells I get getting heat charges. Yes, they are commonly known as heaters within the industry, except for Mike Nacco. He likes them. He's a special kid. He's also my web designer and my 2IC and everything else. But anyway, he's still a special kid. He'll watch this later. I'll get a message. It won't be polite. Uh-oh. Okay, what color? I didn't even have to open it. I simply picked it up, and you can feel the difference in weight. What color? Does Wii covers laptop batteries? You don't want to Wii. I know laptop battery, water and electricity doesn't go well, especially salty water. It can't be pink. It's either purple or orange. You only get 2 choices.
I'll go orange again.
Is this live? Tech IT, it is absolutely live. You better believe this is live. Live with Colin Hickey, and I'm pointing to the other screen again. That guy. There, with the head bones. Right out. Here we go. The suspension's gone on for long enough. Orange! This is probably not as much fun for you guys as it is for me. Right out. Down there. That means I'm going to have to pull 2 more packs to make up for the 2. So at least I get the right amount. Ooh, look at that. They are the green labels. Green labels are often extremely good cells, and they have pink cells in them or blue ICR 18650s usually, and they've got pink cells. These are very good cells. You can tell that I've been doing it for too long. And I have somebody that collects all pink cells for his Powerwall, so I'll keep them. That for him. What the heck? I thought I had all 18650s or NCRs. Pink again. Excellent. He's gonna be happy. They're 9 cells too. Oh, pink again. He's gonna be very happy with that.
The bigger packs are the ones where I used to normally find that had spacers in. It was a pain in the ass.
These are Dells. These are modern Dells, so they never have spacers. They are inducing a very fucked up look on my face when I'm trying to rip it apart. Oh, come on. You're making me look like a dick. Right, there we go. These usually tear the cells off. There we go. So no spaces, pretty pink cells.
Cool.
And I still haven't got that other one. Wait a minute. Right, there we go. Now we got it. My replacement pack How many do we win? You can win them all if you come pick them up, because I won't be using them. But I hope someone does. They're probably, I don't know, they're probably 1,700 milliamp hours or something like that. How about I process some down? I'll get 4 out. I'll take the time. I'll take 4 out. And I'll put them in the Opus sitting beside me here. Because you can't see the Opus. You can see the Opus if I go full screen. Sorry, Colin. The Opus there is basically just doing other cells other than the NCR 18650s, the grey ones. So anything else that I'm doing, I'm just slowly trying to continue the process of building like these packs without, you know, that's just a probably get 8 or 10 done a day with that. And that's covered in goop. So what I'll do is tomorrow, if you're really keen, you can come back tomorrow and have a look in the comments section. And then I'll write the results from these cells down. It's a very random cross section. Actually, those are all finished. I better bring Colin back on so he doesn't feel bored sitting off there himself. Oh wow, I've got heaps of cells finished over here. Oh, I got cameras set up everywhere. Okay. That's a 2650. Oh, 1803. That one will go in the recycle bin. 2186 and 2825. Right, they can all come out of there. Go over there because they go into that one. Rightio. Let's see what voltage these are when they go in. Of course, you're not going to be able to see what voltage they are. You'll just have to trust me. Actually, talking about voltages, because all these NCR 18650s are all around 2 volts each. Well, it's got 3.27, so that's all right. That one's got nothing. Oh, there we go. So they've all got the 3.27 each volts to go with, to start with. And that infernal beeping over there from the other batteries. What else we got? Yay, I win some air. 9-cell pack, yes. Richard, if you're in Brisbane area and you're interested in orange purple cells, hit Pete up. Absolutely, you can have them for free. Samsung, LG, or something pink. They're LG pinks. All LG pinks. Richard, I live in Cooper Pedy. That'd be a good place to visit. Right, last one, 3.27 volts on that one.
How long do you leave them after you test your cells? Testing for self-discharge.
Well, these ones will be left. They're about a month. I let them run for. Yeah,
that's what that box that I've got down by my feet there that I showed. I've left those for a month, actually, just a bit over. So I need to go through and check the voltages. But that's one thing I didn't do way back in the day, and I think I had a couple of slowly self-discharging ones.
Yeah, no, I've got on the off-grid on the farm. That's got a self-discharger in it. That's just going down heaps. I've got to keep topping that off. That's what that big battery up there is to go out there this weekend, hopefully. If anybody is in the room, we seem to have 40-odd people in the room. If anybody would like to come on and do the chat thing like Colin is, no, what am I saying? You're more than welcome to sign in. We can have like up to 5 people in the room at the same time on camera. And feel free to show us through your project or what you're doing or what you're working on, or just tune in and say good day. We'd love to have you. This will try and be a new format moving forward. How did that get in there? What else we got? Samsung. You bought a used lot? No, I got donated this lot. Well, it wasn't donated. I had to work for it. I got it for free, but then offered to do work in return. So I paid for it good and proper. I refurbished what I'm up to about 42 computers, both Macs and PCs. Lots of 24-inch Macs. The older, fatter ones, though. So they're the ones I could take the screens off, just pop the screens off and clean them all out. Not the newer ones. Well, there's a few newer ones there. But you've got to cut the screen off and then glue it back on, essentially, with new double-sided tape. I only did a few of them, but heaps of laptops, pulled all the laptops apart, put them all back together again. Big job, but definitely worth it for some good sells. Where we go, lives in Cooper PD. Be careful, not hurt your hands. I haven't hurt my hands yet, even though that hole is getting somewhat larger. I don't think that's a hole anymore. I think it's missing a finger. Or 1600, 1800, 12 oranges I tested. Oh, we'll see how these go. They won't take long to test if they're only that capacity, though. I just up there 4 weeks ago to get out of the cold. I'm like Pete's father. That isn't odd at all. Unless you mean by travelling.
He does mean travelling, yeah. He said something before that about he moves for the cold.
Same here, Pete. Most of the NCRs go around the 2.2 volt mark. No thanks. I joined the chat. Thank you very much, Wayne, for putting that in. Leave cells in the box for at least 2 weeks, some 3 months maybe, before I test them again and find the leaky cells. That's always a good thing to do. I go 55-inch monitor on my PC. That definitely sounds like a monitor for a PC. I rely on 324-inch screens. Well, 324-inch screens there and 222s up there. They're my accounting, and I usually have Batrium on both of them all day, every day, because I like watching. I like knowing what's happening more than anything else. Were you grid tied? No, I've always been grid tied. Before I did any of these projects, I paid $8,500 for my grid tied system. So I have 24 250 watt panels, and then I have a SMA TL5000 inverter. I've never touched it. It just sits there running whenever the sun's out, I guess. So I've never been tempted to touch that because it's a 10-year warranty with it. So I ain't touching it for another, I think, 4 years. And even then, I don't need to touch it because it just works. The SMA gear doesn't break down very often, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Do you make any money when it feeds back into the grid?
6 cents per kilowatt hour.
Yeah, you don't get anything in the UK now.
Yeah.
Well, you can't apply now. Sorry, random pack.
Yeah. We need another color. This is just interaction. It gets messages on the screen. I'm just going to open it because you guys are all slow and all the delay is ridiculous. Orange pack. There we go.
3 more.
Gee, someone's going to get an ADP pack out of this. Got were you grid tied? Yeah. So, and sorry, Luke. And the rest of that question is, then I have another 5 or 6 kilowatt hours off grid. And they charge my batteries. And the hot water system is on that solar diverter. So I only export probably 50 cents worth of energy a day to the grid, if that. And if I can get a hybrid inverter, like one day, preferably sooner rather than later, I probably won't have a power bill at all. But my power bill is typically around $400 a quarter. So $400 a quarter is not bad considering what I use in a day. And I've had many days with over 50 kilowatt hours, so of usage from the grid.
Yeah, in the UK they get you with the standing charges.
Yeah, we got $1.30 a day connection fee.
Yeah, it sounds similar to what we get. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's terrifying about that is they call it fees and charges for having a meter, but we've paid that for the last 30 years, and it used to be like 20 cents a day, and in 2 years or something they went up over $1. It's ridiculous, and no way of justifying it. Well, I don't think there's a way of justifying it. There might be some justification with somebody needing a bonus or some shit. I don't know. Doesn't anybody else want to join our chat? 16 cents. Geez, that's all right. I was about 2 weeks off buying this house to missing out on the 50-cent feed-in tariff. The premium feed-in tariff, as they call it. The problem with that is that you can't have batteries, because as soon as you have batteries in Australia, you lose your premium feed-in tariff.
In the UK, there used to be one that was 45 pence.
Yeah.
So like nearly 90 cents US, and that was pretty good. But it tied into the house as well, so it was for like 25 years. And so
wow,
paid for systems and then some. It was a big thing, but then they kind of realised it was costing them money, so then they lowered the feed-in tariff, and then as of last year, just stopped letting people apply, and you can't do it anymore. So might be doing something different, but yeah, it's a shame.
But you wouldn't have so much solar over there, not like in Australia, where we, on a 6 kilowatt system, we can pump in 45 kilowatt hours.
Yeah, no, not quite the same here. Yeah, the amount of sun we get, especially in winter, not. But there's a lot of the social housing, like we call them council houses here, that the government owns.
Yeah.
The government's putting like loads of solar on those and trying to make some money off doing that as well.
That'd save them some money. Probably much appreciated savings. What the? That just launched. We get cents here for a feed-in, 16 cents. Who are you, Wayne? Who are you with? Oh, my contract is almost out, so I'm thinking about changing. But I have to be careful who I change with, especially if I end up going hybrid inverter, because that'll change everything. I won't feed in almost nothing. And usually when you get 16-cent feed-in tariff in Australia, or in Queensland, you pay more on the connection fee and you pay more on the hourly usage. So they give it from one hand and take it from the other. Can you show a hot Asian chick in the? Oh, someone's been a subscriber for a long time, haven't they? You're showing your age now. Our metering is $1.30 a day. Oh, there you go. I knew it was somewhere around that. No, I don't have a cam. Hi, Colin. Who's the weird tuber you're talking to? I'm doing all the talking. Give me what else we got? Hot Asian chick. Oh, that looks so funny. Oh, they smell. They're smelly battery pack. It's Colin Hickey. Not got $2. Amazing. Who's? That's who I was talking to. Energy Australia. I'm with Atlanta. Oh, I don't like a leader. No. The feed in, yeah, but I don't like a leader because I don't feed in too much. And I draw a lot from the grid some days. So there are like 6 cents per kilowatt hour more for the connection fee. No, 6 cents a day more for the connection fee and 5 cents per kilowatt hour more for the normal tariff. So that doesn't work for me. I can't believe nobody else wants to chime in and have a chat. What's going on? Everybody cried for it. Then I worked it out to finally do it, thanks to this gentleman. And nobody wants to do it. Terrible.
Just for anyone thinking of doing it, it is super easy. It's just through a web browser. There's no software installed. You just click on it, click on the link, set up an account takes 2 seconds. No card details, no nothing like that. I don't work for them, by the way. Just in case people are worried about like thinking it's a huge onerous thing. Yeah.
Geez, you're selling it better than I am. I'm looking to add some lithium storage to my 6.6 kilowatt grid-tied Ferronius, but unsure on legalities, unsure if I should go hybrid battery or inverter or use a separate circuit for the batteries. I guess that depends on what your Sparky says. Is the Ferronius a hybrid? Or do you need like an extra box or something with that to run the hybrid? I can't even remember. Looking... What would you recommend? I don't know that. I don't know the inverters at all, man. So I can't really recommend. You've got to look at your local laws and shit. Work out what they recommend. And your insurance company. Ask your insurance company because that's always a really important metric. But it took me 6 months to get mine insured. Well, I got a cover note straight away, but it took them 6 months to agree that it was okay and it was safe. But if I change anything from the way it's set up now, it'll instantly not be covered anymore. So when I change it, it'll go to a shipping container of some description, and it won't matter what they say because it it can't have any effect on the house. So the pixies won't escape from a shipping container, I would say. Well, I would hope. That would be the hope.
I'd go with that one. I think the shipping container is going to be pretty... might incinerate everything inside of it, but it shouldn't escape it, I would have thought.
Oh, yeah, it'd be a mess on the inside, wouldn't it? You'd oh, look at that. That's broken as well. That's another one that's dented. Do you guys use those cells, or do you put them aside? I certainly don't use them, but I don't want to use anything that's less than visually perfect, if that makes any sense. You've got to be able to see it too. And I mean, I'm only having a quick glance at it when I'm doing it. But that's the second one I found today, damaged. Pete, Ian HJ, do you have any interaction of your grid tie and battery system? No. Siphoning off spare power from the grid tie to charge your batteries. What is your battery system powering? No, there's no interaction between them. One's off grid, one's on grid. So my off grid side does everything within my house except for the big air conditioner, the main air conditioner, and two of the smaller ones it's not on, and then the cooktop and the oven in the kitchen. So all the other GPOs in the house, ceiling fans, lights, one air conditioner are all on batteries. So, and in summertime we leave that air conditioner turned on. Basically, it's in my son's room down the other end of the house, so it's actually perfectly placed to keep that end of the house cool during the evenings and all night. So it works really, really well. And also it burns off a lot of extra power. So we always charge the batteries, but we never not overcharge the battery. We don't waste any energy. So if the solar is shining, we use that energy. We don't just burn it off as heat in charge controllers or something like that. Because obviously once the batteries start getting up to fully charged, the charge controllers ramp down and you effectively lose power or lose the ability to use that energy. It just gets wasted. So we don't like doing that. We do grid tied system. I hope that answers that question. What would you recommend? No. Throws money at Colin. Colin wrenches out and catches that money, puts it in his pocket and hides it from his wife. For sales and supplies, please contact Colin. Just kidding. So you get to read all this because I'm talking and I'm
busy doing this. Yeah.
Feel free to jump in on any of the questions, Colin.
No worries. Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm up to.
Plan said some. Maslin was asking about getting solar panels he's bought and then getting someone to install them. I've told him maybe to ask in the Facebook group. I know in the UK certainly there's a solar installer that's on the group. He's always happy to travel to do work. So maybe something in New York where he is.
Oh, okay. Do you have a special license in the UK to install solar, or can anybody install it? You just got to get it ticked off.
Don't know is the honest answer. But I would imagine because we have loads of things like certifications for like installing a socket in your house, like a spur.
Yeah.
You used to be able to do it, but now you've got like Part P certifications and all these things. So I think it'd have to be signed off and installed.
Yeah, okay. That's the same as here. Well, for high voltage, we got high voltage and low voltage. So low voltage is under 50 volts AC and under 120 volts DC. And then high voltage is obviously anything over that.
Yeah.
And we're not allowed to do. But that's one thing. The second thing to that is insurance. So even though you're allowed to do it, does the insurance company agree that you're allowed to do it? And is the insurance company going to say you're stupid and we're not covering you? So
yeah, I know it's been mentioned a few times today, but I think it's a thing that a lot of people overlook.
Yeah. Oh.
You overlook it till you have a problem, maybe.
Well, it's never a problem until it is a problem, is it?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and unfortunately, too many people have done that. Too many people have got hurt, and I guess that's how regulations come about. So it's only a matter of time before this little budding industry becomes regulated.
Yep.
And messes it up for a lot of people. That's why I'm trying so hard to, ram it into people's head to do it a bit safer and whatever. Because once it's regulated, once one country regulates it, the entire community just falls apart because it's just every other country will follow. So, and it'll happen. It's happened to other things before, so I'm told. We got solar panels, Muslim, Merca, NY. Pete could, in theory, manually charge from the grid when there is sufficient solar from the grid, so it is free. I could do that, yes, absolutely. But what I don't know is I don't have a way. I probably should get like that free energy monitor or whatever. But I've got no way of monitoring what's going back to the grid unless I physically go out there and have a look at my Eddy charger, my solar diverter, and that tells me how much is going back to the grid. But that's a 100-meter round trip, 150-meter round trip, and that doesn't sound like much, but when you're trying to work for a living, that's 5 minutes of your life you don't get back. Checking that and walking backwards and forwards and seeing if you're exporting to the grid, and if you are exporting to the grid, turning a grid charger on to charge the batteries. Now, I do happily do that in winter when I absolutely need the extra charge in the batteries, but not in summer.
In the UK, they're nice. Everywhere's getting these smart meters now.
Yeah.
So it's nice you get a remote panel. So I've got one in downstairs in the house. I can see what's being used. But okay. If you do a setup like grid tied, it doesn't differentiate which direction the power's going.
Oh, okay.
So if you feed back into the grid, you get charged as if you were using that in your home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that's one of the things that must get sorted when you do a non-DIY setup in these kind of things. You get it signed off and everything.
Ah, okay. So they have to reprogram or reflash the meter or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of controlling it. I don't know how ours work here. I've got a digital meter and I've just signed up. At the moment, it's 2 days behind. So I've got to wait 2 days before I see any data. But I've just signed up for the live beta testing of the live function of it. So that'll be interesting, but I don't know when that's coming in. And it's only an app on the phone, so I can't just put a fourth screen on my computer and just watch it all the time. Because that's what I do, let's face it. I sit there and monitor it constantly. So...
Scott says, "Hey Pete, what are those big blue and yellow batteries on the floor behind you?"
Okay, so they were donated to me from another YouTube. Well, not another YouTuber, just a client, so to speak, and they are here. Now, this is really heavy, so I'm just going to lift that. He gave me 4 of them. Oh. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's a backup battery for a rack mount system for a server. Except they're 50 amp hours. So those 2 blue batteries you can see in the background, they're 50 amp hour batteries. Those ones. But this one here seems to only have 3 cells in it. No, 4 cells in it, and this one's only got 3 cells in it. So one of the cells is dropped. This one here is very low voltage. Is this the? Oh no, this is a 2018 one. So this one's only a year old. So this one's still good. And then I've got 1, 2. I've got 4 of them in total. But that battery's completely shagged. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but effectively I've got 150 amp hours of lithium in a fireproof box that I don't know what to do with.
So is that the lithium phosphate cells? Or?
Their life, yeah, lithium phosphate, yeah, LIFE battery models. So obviously they're for the 12 volt, so they need that lithium phosphate for the chemistry that replicates 12 volt for a lead acid battery.
Yeah, it's easier to do than with lithium ion.
Yeah, and this one's also got a blown BMS, so it's got a BMS inside of it. It's got some nice big chunky battery terminals. But that one, the date on that one is 2009. 13th of the 12th, 2009. So it's 10 years old, that battery, so it's not much good anymore. But I like the steel cases, and I reckon with a little bit of creativity, you could rework them so you could just put a lithium battery in there, and you put your BMS in the top, and away you go. Make one of those like the ammo boxes that Tom's going to build.
Well, it's kind of like what Average Joe's done as well with his setup, the UPSs.
Yeah,
the extra batteries. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'll probably pass them on to another community member because I don't know. Like they've got the terminals there, so you can just put 240 volt on. Oh, not 240 volt. You just attach a charge controller to it, or you can attach an inverter to it, and it'll just work.
Cool.
They're heavy. They're not very movable around in that format, but I'm sure I can find something for them. But yeah, so I didn't pay for them; they were donated.
Scott B says he's the one that donated them to you.
Oh, there you go.
That's why I was asking, obviously.
There you go.
Steve Beasley says, why don't you fit some current clamps to your lines to monitor your usage? I guess in reference to the earlier conversation.
I would like to do that, but like that involves doing stuff that I'm not legally allowed to do, so I don't do that. And my electrician has been MIA for a few months busy with work, so I can't just get like he used to come around here every week and used to check everything that's happening and do all those little things that I'm not allowed to do.
Are you not allowed to? Because with the current clamps, I'm presuming he's meaning the non-invasive ones where they literally like clip around the cable, so it doesn't. You're not splicing the cable.
Yeah, but I've still got to open my meter box.
Got you. Okay.
240.
Yeah.
I just don't know whether you're even allowed to do that.
No, that's fine. I was just curious. Yeah.
I mean, I've opened it to look,
mm-hmm.
but as soon as actually it comes to touching anything or moving anything, I know where my limitations lie, and it's not with 240 volt. I mean, I've got kids and family and everything else. I can't afford to do dumb shit like touching 240 volt and moving shit around and
And the other boxes you get on the side of the houses, the meter boxes, so to speak, they are pretty safe and everything like that. And the beauty is with the smart meter now, the guy doesn't come to do a reading.
Yeah.
Which is an advantage, but yeah, I get exactly where you're coming from though as well.
I'm scared. I'm scared to a point where I think it adds a level of safety because I don't do anything stupid with energy, so to speak. Other this. So yeah. So Scott, thank you very much for that. We'll end up doing something, but I just don't know what. Because three of the batteries are 2009, and they're not very good voltage. And I've been trickle charging one. I've got this, and it's not ideal, but it's a scooter charger for a little scooter, and it only charges 48 volts at 2.5 amps. So I've been charging like an hour on, an hour off when I'm sitting on top of it, like monitoring it, trying to charge the batteries back up slowly. And some of them just aren't taking charge. They're coming up a little bit and then they go back down again as soon as I take the charger off. So I haven't got a path forward with them yet. I should catch up with the chat. In the US, you need a Sparky certified for solar if you're doing grid tied. I've heard that, yes. I'll get a couple of estimates. Hey, Pete, on the floor, I've already done that. I refuse the smart meter. I encourage the smart meter. I've been told a couple of solar panels and charge a 7S EV pack and use it for testing all the EV cells with a charger X8. Oh, you got an X8. So we'll be testing will be off grid. That's awesome. I want to get an X8. I've got the X6 and I've got the ISDT, but I would love the X8 because it's got 24 volt input, which means I can put it straight on my wall and charge and discharge to it, and it would be incredibly efficient. Why not fit some current clamps? I've covered that so far. I have 6 kilowatt tested, 7 kilowatt pack. Put it on the scooter. You could probably use it as a seat on the scooter. I'm the one that gave it to you. Thank you. Scott read that. You're not allowed in the back of a meter box unless you get a Sparky. There you go. Big warning sign saying a naughty boy if you do. If you do something wrong, then you'll be a Sparky too. Well said. Crispy Sparky. Colin thinking, that one's someone else. Did you want the original extra crispy? Extra crispy would be fantastic. Thank you very much. So anybody else new here? Anybody else want to join the chat? Because I have probably 15 minutes left of testing before I run out of cells and I run off inside and try and get some shut-eye. Anybody else want to join in? You can open the door here, but all you see is the face of the breakers and the meter, all wiring behind the other power panels. Cannot touch. Yes, I believe that's the way it works, or something similar. I have seen inside of it, of course I have. But yeah. There's plenty of energy monitors and stuff out there, but if I was to do something with my power wall at the moment, I'd like to simplify it. Get rid of as many devices as possible and only have enough to do the job properly. Because I sort of look at my shed now, there's cables everywhere and it's messy, and I want to cut it back to almost nothing. Well, not almost nothing, but you know what I'm coming from. Clean up all the cables and make it look neat and presentable and easy to read, I guess you'd say. So if there was ever a problem, it would all make sense. And I honestly don't think it does make sense. It makes sense to me, but nobody else. My electrician has all of the details for everything, so he has an intricate knowledge of everything that happens. So if something ever happens to me horrible, which I think is a conversation everyone should have, he knows how to come and either decommission it or put it into a safe mode or whatever. So that I think you've always got to have a plan. There's DIY power walls. I mean, an electrician could walk in and just look at it and go, nah, walk away. Especially if something happens to you and you're incapacitated, or worse still, you know, your wife knocks you off for spending too much money in your power wall. My container's almost full. You can open the door. We had a hurricane pass through, and my neighbours were running generators. They looked at me a little differently, knowing that I was the only one that had power. Have you experienced this? I haven't experienced that enough. As I know it's odd, but I can't wait for us to have a proper power outage. I think I've had this for about 4 years or something, and we've got underground power here. We haven't got above ground power. So for us to lose power, something downstream has to be really wrong. We've only lost power a few times, and then like at 1 o'clock in the morning, I turn all my lights on. Just all my neighbours know what I've got anyway. They all know I'm on YouTube and stuff because I'm a shameless self-promoter. I don't mind saying that. And yes, I turn everything on. But we got elderly neighbours next door, so when the power goes out, the times that it has, I throw a cable over the fence so their fridge and freezer can run overnight without having to run a generator. So that works really well.
Mark Phillips says, a random question about the PIP. There are only 2 screw mount holes at the top. Is that enough to safely mount with no other support?
Sorry, what was I missed it.
The random question about the PIP. There's only 2 screw hole mounts at the top.
No,
is that enough to mount without support, he says?
No, there's another 2 underneath the black strip at the bottom. So technically inside of it, there's another couple of screw mounting points. So that's 4 mounting points. But the pips don't weigh that much. They're not that heavy. They're transformerless, so they're not that very heavy. They're not heavy at all. If they had transformers in them, they'd be like 50 kilos, like the Ames inverters. They're massively heavy. So I know Mike Nacco installed his, and he had to use a bunch of bricks and some clever, old school blooming ancient Egyptian type pulleys and levers to get it up into place because it was too heavy and the space was too small for him to do it safely. So yeah, so it will be fine. This is as a Hurricane Ferronia smart meter. It shows you the live usage as well as feed in. Oh, that's pretty cool. Random question. We just did that. To set up for critical loads or just have some circuits off grid. What do you think of using a transfer switch versus an interlock switch? I don't have interlock switches here in Australia, but I believe I have seen them in the States.
What's an interlock switch, just to ask?
Interlock switch is so you have to turn a handle or something, and that handle can only be off grid at this end and on grid at this end. So by the physical movement of this handle, turns one off, pauses, and then turns the other one on.
So mutually exclusive, you one or the other then. Okay.
Yeah. So you can't have both. I believe somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what that is. I think I would have the manual version because you might be tempted to turn it on and off with a transfer switch too often. I think. I don't know. It really depends. But you've only got a finite amount of switches before that DC switch breaks if you're breaking it under load. So I guess you'd have to look at your particular setup or situation and make a decision based on what's applicable for your setup. I think that's fair. It's not something that I could really comment on, I don't think. So
It'd be interesting to see how that would work as well, as far as like the inverter that you use, and obviously you've got grid tie inverters that need that voltage already there compared to something else. And if you kind of try and use a non-grid tie inverter that's connected to the grid, then because that's a big no-no, and like
there's almost more questions than there is answers.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You got to know the specifics, but if you're not sure, you should always you have to ask somebody that knows and has insurance for what they're saying. And I know that always costs money, but I mean it's easier to spend it before than have to spend it later. So and one of the things that I did wrong was a lot of the switches that I bought were 24 volt or not rated big enough or cheap knockoffs because I was trying to do it cheaply. Doing it right the first time is always cheaper than doing it twice. So that's definitely a mistake I made, and I paid for that. I paid for that many times. Because in the early days, my wife did not want me spending money on my Powerwall. She almost walked away because of it several times. And you know, and now it's like, I'm doing this, love, and she goes, sure, no worries, okay, what do you want for dinner? So it's kind of good in that situation. So
now, when you're starting out, especially, it's tempting to do it on the cheap, and for the fuses, like you say, and the breakers and different things, and yeah, definitely pays. I think people don't appreciate the work. You know, like the amount of times you've had the Sparky in to do things and getting it done right. That's hidden in the background. That I know you've done the odd video, but there'll be a lot more than what we've seen, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's hundreds and hundreds. My little box up here, there's hundreds of dollars worth of invoices for that sort of stuff. But another mistake I made was going 24 volt first. I did a PIP 2424HS, and then I went, oh wow, this is fantastic, and I felt like some space cadet that had, you know, achieved perpetual motion. And then I went to, and then, you know, oh, I need better solar charging. So I decided that I needed a PIP 2424 MSX, which had a slightly higher MPPT charge controller in it. And then that was great. And then I got more solar panels and I needed more solar. And it was like, oh shit, now I need a PCM60X. So I got one of them. And then I realized putting the PCM60X on took a lot of the heat out of the PIP 2424 MSX and even the HS. I think I tried it on the HS as well. But then I ended up going 48 volt. And of course, then I went 48 volt. And I went, well, I don't want my inverter to die too quickly. So I got two 48 volts. And it just kept compacting. But if I had have gone straight to the 48 volts, I reckon I would have saved $1,000. But to be honest, I didn't have $2,000 to buy two of those inverters in the early days. So what do you do?
Hindsight's a wonderful thing as well.
Hindsight is awesome. Thank you very much, Mother Nature, for giving us hindsight. I'm rattling on too much. We need somebody else in this room. I've said that a few times, right? Come on, step up.
Wayne says just spend the money and beg forgiveness. It's an easier to beg for forgiveness than it is to get the money in the first place, he says.
Well, my problem in the early days is we didn't have the money. It was like, well, literally, we had to go, well, the power bill's due in 5 weeks' time, and we've got $500 for the power bill. Can I spend that money now and try my best to have the money for that power bill by the time the power bill was due? That's where I was for years trying to do this. I was robbing Peter to fuck Paul. I mean, I can't say that on camera. But
you've got the problem as well that where you're self-employed. So anytime you're doing that, you're not earning money, so you've got even less money then to put into it as well.
And I've said this many times on live feed. Another thing, like in December last year, my wife was literally packed and ready to walk out. Because I spent so much time on YouTube and so little time actually running my business that I've been doing for 15 years or more, 20 years. So I spent so much time and effort trying to build this community that I almost lost everything that I'd ever worked for, like family, love, life, relationship, and all that sort of shit. So that's something to consider as well. There you go. There's an insight to Pete.
That's when the 50,000 subs gets put into perspective. It's not that important.
Well, it doesn't. It's not perspective, but it's the income from that 50,000 that puts it into perspective. It's that $300 a month you make from YouTube is the difference between getting your ass kicked and just agreeing and asking if you want coffee. So, yeah. I got to make a video on that. I got to make a 50,000 subscriber video and then show what you earn for having 50,000 views, 50,000 subscribers. I think they go really well on YouTube. I think lots of people want to know those sorts of metrics. So, I've just rattled on and not even considered this chat. Random question, 24 volt. I guess on the ladder, having off-grid circuits in general, you'd want a sub-panel either way. Yes, Dan's stopping in, is getting ready. Love the drill stream. Need a debatable subject. let you two go backwards and forwards. No, I don't. No, I'm not. No, I don't want to do debatable. I want to do banter. I want to have fun, and I guess we could debate something, but it'd have to be big or small tits. I mean, it'd have to be something pretty.
Luke says, when you test laptop cells, what voltage do you deem too low to even bother testing?
Voltage is not a consideration. Voltage has no bearing on anything other than the fact if it's 0.000 volts. Anything above 0.01 volt is a cell that could have 3,000 milliamp hours in it. All these cells have about 2 volts because they've been sitting around for so long.
Can the Optus do them okay from 2 volts?
No. You've got to do TP 4056 or parallel charge them with something else.
Yeah.
You know,
I use the Caller 500s, and they get picky when they get that low. So I tend to either just use the. Actually, I got one here that I've been using with some burner Sanyos in the old power banks. Yeah, that works. You put a 5 volt charger in them, and away they go. Yeah, and just leave it, and then gets up to acceptable voltage. Then pop it in the little Caller, and I do the same. I'll test it. I think as many other people don't have quite as many cells as you, so can't be as picky anyway. So, but if you test it, if you leave it for a month and it holds a voltage, the cell's good. Yeah, that's right, exactly right. And if it doesn't get hot when you're testing it, and it meets your minimum requirements. But I mean, I use the Optus Opus, and you can get Opus. You can get 1 volt cells, and if you just keep pulling them back and then just disconnecting the battery and then putting it back on a dozen times, oftentimes it'll just bump the voltage up very slowly until it's actually a usable voltage. Yeah, the little Caller it tries to guess what the cell is by the voltage. So you go through the NICAD, and then it gets up a little bit higher. You do exactly like you said. Just move the cell so the contacts aren't touching, then it's touching again, and then it'll try and charge it a bit more. Then it'll get up to lithium ion in the end. I didn't realize that they might have done that. But yeah, it does work all right. It's just sometimes a bit slower. Like all these cells, none of these cells will go in the digital 4S discharges straight off the bat. None of these will work. So I've got to pre-charge all of them. So there's probably about 20 TP 4056s, and then there's IMAX in 6S. So 4P6S or something like that. So you can pre-charge all the cells up to 4.2 volts. So it makes it a lot quicker to actually do the discharge because they're not having to charge up. So yeah, that's all I do, just pre-charges, using loads of these USB chargers because they're like $5 or something like that off eBay. And doing that way. Whatever happened to that big, the charging thing that went to Paul Kennett first and then it did the rounds? I think Average, I meant to ask Average Joe the other day and then find out whether he has still got it or he sent it on to somebody else and it's been lost or whatever. Because is that the first one that started from the UK guy? That was. I got Nerdville. Yeah. He's a good guy, but he hasn't done anything for a long time. Yeah, he's been busy. Wait a minute, I should call him live and see if he answers. No, he had thousands of cells to test as well. He was getting ready to. I don't even know what he did with them all. So I don't know what's happening. But he's got some talent. But it's one of those things. Does YouTube earn enough money to cover what he loses from his day job? And his answer is absolutely not even a chance. Yeah. It's like he's a very smart man, and he's also a very generous, lovely man. I had a problem. My kids packed up and went to UK, and I didn't. They did a 4-day. So 4 days before they left, they decided that they wanted to leave and go to the UK. Packed up, went to the UK, got to the UK, and then realised that my 16-year-old daughter wasn't old enough to go to backpacker hotel. Mm-hmm. And I reached out to Nerdville, and he just boom, 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 do this, do that, do this, and offered a bed, offered to go and pick them up, offered
and he's just a bloody top bloke.
Yeah, he comes across a nice guy.
Yeah, so I will chase that up. I will see if I can give him a call. I've just got to work out his time zone because I got his address and stuff as you do with YouTube. I'll give him a call or send him a bunch of flowers or something. Tell him to do a video. That actually might be funnier.
Because his last one was the cell tester, but the big carousel thing. It was huge.
The big freaking tester.
That was the one. Yeah.
I mean, how much work is in the CAD alone on those videos?
Oh yeah, oh no, I do a bit CAD. Like I haven't done as many Powerwall related videos of late. I've been doing more just other generic things in 3D Make, and I made the steering wheel like the for Xboxes and things.
Oh, okay.
Designed a 3D printed one like stand that had 3D printed hinges, and I used some bits of wood. But that took me quite a while. But it's like I don't know, like a caveman rolling a rock compared to Nerdville stuff. It's so intricate. Cool.
Yeah. So, holy shit, we've been here for 2 hours. What? 10 o'clock at night. I'm almost done anyway. Well, if you want to be a part of this next time, set yourself up. I'll try and do at least one of this sort of thing a week, and we can have a bunch of different people on, and I'll see if I can reach out to a couple of other YouTubers that will, maybe Bruno or AVE, and see if we can get a couple of characters on here. I'll see if I can reach out to Cody as well, see if he'll do one with us. That's about all I can name drop wise on YouTube. Anyway, oh man, my throat is dry. Under 1 volt is usually cut off. 0 volt, haha. Don't zap it from a 48 volt pack. I hate to admit it. I did that in the early days. I did it with a 12 volt LGA battery and just zapped it for 1 second and brought the voltage up. But I recommend strongly you don't do that. That's just stupidity at every level. 0 volt, don't zap it with 48 volt. Can you please explain how resistance or rating cells you do the controller of the cells? I have never, Dan, you might be surprised, I have never tested the milliamp rate, the resistance of a cell. Never. I don't even know what a good resistance reading is. And that's probably not very acceptable considering I have a resistance reader. I got it from Banggood. I was supposed to do a review on it, but they pissed me off with shit products so much, I just stopped replying to them. So I haven't
started testing mine for resistance, but then it's just another metric to get obsessed about. But like we said earlier, if the battery holds voltage, if it's got enough capacity, and if it holds the voltage for a month or so, then that's fine for me.
Well, it's fine for me as well. But I think as we progress and as we get better, I think this needs to be done. I don't like saying that after not doing it, but. So this is an SM8124A resistance tester. And if you look below, there is a link in my kit store to this under Banggood. So you put it onto resistance. I can't, I might, I don't know. Can you see that? No, you can't see that. That was a shitty idea, Pete. What the hell were you thinking? On the bottle of a Coke? You can see that, right?
Yep. Just one.
And this is going to just pull it in all sorts of weird ways. So 37.
So a lower resistance is generally better, isn't it? The figure.
Well, I would assume so. So that one, what's that? 37. So we'll do 5 and see what we come up with. I'll need to actually, what I'll do is I'll do. Oh, you can't complain about that. That's pretty much 37. We'll do one more, and what I'll do is then I'll go and grab a charged one. $42, so slightly higher on that one. But we'll do the voltage, because I believe the voltage plays a role. So that's 2 volt? No. Yeah, that's 2 volts. And these two were the 37 ones. I'm scared of stabbing it and short-circuiting it. Oh, well, that's 3.9 volts. There's not many that high. This one must be 3.9 volts as well then. Unless we're getting into a different batch. And that one's 3.9 as well. So the two with higher resistance were higher voltage. So these are 4.2 volts, or at least they should be bloody close to 4.2 volts. I don't want to mix these ones up. Can you still see that? Yeah, you can still see that enough. I am really scared about short-circuiting this, just because of the pins and the way I'm holding it. That's 4 volts. About 37 as well. Jesus, doesn't this make for riveting TV?
You need like one of those quick release holders like they've got on the Opus and the Lito collars to safely just put it in and out.
That's 39. So maybe we could say from this very small cross section, 40 is about right.
Mm.
And then we get one that's 60. See, that's I don't get that. That's 63 resistance. So is that a bad sell? See, that's the tripping point with this sort of thing is that's 4 volts. Where do you draw the line for a good and a bad sell?
Yeah, and it depends how much at what rate you're going to discharge that. You know,
well,
if you've got
it's hardly discharging at all, is it?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's another metric to throw in there. So that's why I don't think it's one of the most useful things. It's got its place, but
I think it'd be good to. I mean, what do? Do you work out resistance and then do you sort by milliamp hours and then you sort by resistance? It all of a sudden becomes too hard.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got to put them back so I don't mess it up. I have a system. I don't really have a system. Clearly, I don't have a system.
Mark says he's fiddled with resistance and he's only found very high readings mean probably bad sell. A greater than 100 is probably a bad sell.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I might make it a point of testing these 2,500 cells just for resistance, because I mean, I want to build a good pack, right? And if it does go to my daughter's place, I want to do everything I possibly can to make it at the best, safest wall I can, period. So,
do you still use Repacker when you're doing the like the 80p packs and stuff, or do you not bother?
Let me tell you something about Repacker. Nobody would do that unless they were mad. That said, I built that with Repacker, and I reckon that took me about an hour. That's 120 cell. But that is so freaking well balanced. It is scary. And to that end,
I did it with my 7S 96p.
Yeah.
And that took a long time.
Yeah.
A very long time.
So that's 16.1 volts. we're probably going to have to do it twice. 4 volts, 4 volts, 4.4. Go through again. 3.99, 4, 3.99, and 4.4. So that's fairly close, considering that hasn't been charged for probably 3 months, 2 months. So that pack is brilliant. I can take that all the way down to 2 volts per cell without it being unbalanced, without it being dangerously unbalanced. So, but that was built with repacker. But this one, because there's so many cells, I'm going to just do it in. Some said you should do 50 milliamp hours. I don't think these discharges are anywhere near accurate enough to warrant doing them in 50 milliamp hours. Maybe 100 milliamp hour groups. But that's still a lot of containers that I'm going to need, because they go from, say, 2400 milliamp hours all the way up to 3200 milliamp hours. So that's an awful lot of containers. But again, it'll be worth it, because one of the problems with all my packs is they're shit house. I didn't do anything. I just literally took them out of the Opus and then put them in, and then that was how I built the pack. So, but that was early days. That was before we knew how to do it any better. So I'm a pioneer. Oh, come on. This you should see the floor. It's terrible. Anyways, closing remarks, Colin. How do we close this chat out so I can go inside and go to bed?
Yeah, I need to get some food. No, it's been a good chat. I've enjoyed it. Thank you for having me, and good to see that set up earlier on. Hopefully, some more people will come next time.
That was shit. You should have done a lot better than that. No. I never know how to sign off from these things. I remember once I signed off and I said, see you later, and then I walked around the shed for an hour cleaning, only to realise I'd left the camera on and everyone was just calling me a dick. It was the most interactive live feed I've ever done, because everyone was just having a goal, just going hard at me. And then my phone started ringing, and I ignored my phone because everyone was trying to ring me and tell me I was still on camera. And it's like, oh, I should do it again deliberately just so I get the interaction. Anyway, guys, I am going to go. Thank you very much, Colin, for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Some mad scientist shit. If you want to do this next time, hit me up. We'll get it done. Thank you very much, Colin. You're a champion. Thank you for showing me this thing. This thing. We'll get it done next time.
Duck thing. Yeah.
We'll get rid of that thing, yes.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. Cheers, guys. And broadcast. Now, I think